From Los Angeles, this is Montserrat Radio.
In the spirit of the war against fake news, Montserrat Radio presents The Fake News Show, conspiracy news and a different point of view of current events. And now your host, Benny Wilson.
Good afternoon and good evening for those who live very far, far away from my land. And welcome to the Fake News Show. This is your host, Benny. Today we have a lot of news, and I don't want to waste any more time on this protocol. So let's get to the news because I have a lot of information. So let me go through the news first. And no, I don't have. Well, I do have breaking intel, but I don't want to say anything about the breaking intel because apparently they did not like me to say something that I said yesterday. So I'm not gonna say any. I'm not gonna tell you what is my breaking intel. But obviously, what I said yesterday came back today with the news. So let me just remind you what happened last night. Yesterday, in the morning. So let me go through the news first, and then if I can say anything that I can actually be allowed to say, I'll let you know. But right now, let me tell you what's the news. So let's start for whatever happened yesterday. And basically yesterday I said to watch out for Asian banks and Arab banks news. That was my breaking intel. And yesterday, I think it was one of my audience. I think one of my friends in Facebook sent me an email. I think her name is Shirley, and I want to appreciate that. I want to give her credit for sending me this news because I just didn't know anything about it. So it came back in the news. It says the world news. It said updated. This was actually updated yesterday at 3 p.m. The United Arab Emirates. It says to withdraw all money from Qatar banks. Massive banking crisis to follow immediately. As you know, in Arab countries, they have a crisis right now because everybody's blaming Qatar to be the one and only right now. And that's basically well, let me just say that everybody's blaming Qatar to be the one and only country that is basically sponsoring and supporting terrorism around the world. Which, let me just tell you something. If we're going to blame somebody to be the sponsor of terrorism around the world, don't look any further. Saudi Arabia is the number one supporter of terrorism. Okay? Just to let you know that. But then they want to use they want to use another Muslim country to blame it for all the things that actually Saudi Arabia been doing. So let me just continue with the news. It said the United Arab Emirates has declared they will withdraw all money from Qatar banks immediately over Qatar's alleged support of terrorism. This will almost immediately crash up to 6 of the largest banks in Qatar, possibly setting off a chain reaction around the world. This is a move of catastrophic proportions, which will immediately affect and possibly destroy the following banks. And they're all from Qatar, okay? Let me just mention some. The Commercial Bank of Qatar, Ali Bank Qatar, and the International Bank of Qatar. There are 3 others that mentioned right here. I'm gonna post this news on Facebook, so you can read it for those who are not on Facebook. You can go ahead and look on the domain. It says HalTurnerShow.com. Hal Turner Show means well, probably we'll put it underneath my video on YouTube so everybody can see the news, what I'm talking about. And this is just an example of what I've been saying. You see, these events of putting the finger to other countries is just a design method that the elites are using to bring down the whole financial system. If they can bring down the financial system through banks, to the corruption of the banks, they can do anything, and they can actually bring and reset. They're doing it for a purpose, and the purpose is to reset the financial system. Like I said before, if we are talking about a financial reset, we are talking about a collapse of the financial system. That's it. Because there can be there cannot be any reset without a failure. There's gotta be a big failure in order to bring a financial reset. Okay, so I will post this in my Facebook page for everybody to see. The other news that I got here is is basically with the name of my show. The name of my show is basically that the Supreme Court is seeking to bring into trial Maliki. Maliki was the ex-minister of Iraq, and he's want to blame, actually, to bring, because of him, actually, ISIS was brought to Iraq, and we all know he did that. Okay, so now they're looking for taking to trial, and right now they cannot do it because he is right now in the government. See, the government of Iraq, like I said before, it is so corrupted that this guy is walking on the street. Everybody knows that he actually killed almost 10 million Iraqis, and he's just walking on the street like nothing happened to him. And there's more than not more than a million, but more than 500,000 of people actually support this idiot, this criminal. And since Donald Trump actually talked to a body, I believe, and that's what my sources are saying. Not only I believe, because my sources are saying that he told him straight through, you gotta bring this guy into court, into prison, because if you don't, I will do it. So now they're trying to do this, and I'm gonna also post this news into my Facebook page so you can see what it's all about. Let me just read a little bit. It said that let me read the news, basically what it is. Let me just find it out what it is. I just put it somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Nope, it wasn't here. Oh, there it is. Okay, it says right here, Parliament seeks Maliki trial over Mosul fall to ISIS. It says right here, the Parliamentary Legal Committee requests on Monday the Attorney General to reopen the issue of Mosul fall in ISIS grip, a move that will lead to the trial of Iraqi officials, including former Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki. The Iraqi parliament voted in 2015 on this issue, referred to the judicial system to take the necessary measures. So, they actually started in 2015, and now they want to do it right now. Why? Because the RB is about to happen. They cannot have a lot of corruption. They need to get rid of not only of ISIS and all this bullcrap about Daesh and all the stuff, but they urgent need to get rid of corruption. So right now, they're cleaning the house. I told you in my last show that there will be news of people going to prison very soon. Not only in Iraq, and let me just tell you that. Not only in Iraq, but also within the United States. Okay? And some other countries too. So watch out for news in the banks in Asia again. And watch out for news in Arab countries. Watch out what they're going to do, because right now they're about to do it. So let's go to the other news that I have here on hand. Now also we have news about tomorrow. Tomorrow the Federal Supreme Court is considering the law of the general budget. Basically what they're going to do tomorrow is that they're going to open a budget. This is the first time they're going to open it to the world, okay? And it is a special budget. And what is so important about it is because when we find out about this budget, we will find out if they have open and clearing, that is going to reflect the revaluation of the dinar. Bottom line, if this government open up this budget to the whole world, to the media, and it shows the numbers equivalent to the revaluation of the dinar, we'll know that they have intentions to revalue. Now, let me remind you something that I said before, because I never will contradict myself. Let me remind you what I said before. Don't be surprised that in one way or another, the government of Iraq says that they have no intentions to revalue the dinar. I repeat, do not be surprised that the government of Iraq says that they have no intentions to revalue their currency. They're going to lie to the whole world. They're not going to do what they say. I repeat, do not be surprised. They're going to lie to the whole world. They're not going to do what they say. And the reason is because, like I said before, and I repeated it many times, is that they're not going to make it obvious for these criminals to know when they're going to revalue, because everybody's expecting that by the end of this month, they declare Mosul liberated. They declare all the districts left right now, which is probably 2 and 1 bridge, liberated, and they do this bullcrap about Iraq is free again and there is no RB. Okay, now let me just tell you this. If they say that they are not, let me repeat that again, because I'm going to have a lot of people coming to me. As a matter of fact, right now, I'm having a lot of emails coming out right now. Don't panic. Don't panic. Don't fall in chaos. Okay? Just listen to me. Just listen very carefully. They're going to lie. Don't be surprised that they're going to lie. Okay? Because they have to lie. They're corrupted. Okay? So, I told you many times that the elite wants to get paid. I told you many times that Donald Trump wants to get paid. The IMF needs to get paid. And the World Bank needs to get paid. So there are too many elites that needs to get paid. And on top of that, you will see also a lot of these so-called private groups and so-called morons that will try to convince you that there will be no public exchange. I'm on top of everybody, and I'm letting you know exactly what they're going to do, because I know it already. Okay? So don't fall for chaos. Do not panic. Keep your faith strong. There will be a public exchange. Okay? Just to let you know. Now, what is this news very important? It's because they supposedly, and I mean quote, supposedly, they're going to open a budget, a special budget that probably will reflect the new revaluation, the new raise on value of their currency. If they do not show that, there will be a lot of chaos and panic around in our land. I repeat, if that doesn't show, there will be a lot of chaos and panic in the land. And everyone who is waiting for this event, do not panic. Do not panic. Okay, just to warn you, I'm warning you right now. And I'm not going to answer any more questions and emails, because I'm clearly telling you, do not panic. Okay? All right. So I'm going to also post this news on my Facebook page. Let me look for another news. If I can find it, let's see. I read this one already. And I read this one already. And I read this one already. I think I'm done with the news. Well, let me just check again. Okay. Now I'm going to answer some of the questions because I have emails coming to me. So I'm going to ask, here's the one question. So let me see. Somebody just wrote me an email. I'm not going to mention the name, but I'm going to read the email. It says, Benny, enjoy your show, and I believe that you tell it like it is. It is to where we don't get it is where we don't get that from the other gurus that are out there. Question: concerning the exchange, you might or might not have the answer, but I will give it a try. Are the banks going to want us to place our currencies in one of their trust funds? And then she mentioned a skeleton trust fund. Or can we use the irrevocable trust fund that we have and hire the financial firm to place our currencies in 4 different accounts, umbrella accounts, for each currency we have in the irrevocable trust that we have already established? I understand we are to keep each currency in separate accounts. I'm just concerned that we might be stuck in placing our money in the first appointment that we have into a skeleton trust account with the banks, and what makes me nervous is that they have control over it. Well, honey, I'm sorry, but you will still have some limited control if you do the right thing. Let me just stop from there, okay? And don't worry about where exactly you're going to put your trust fund and all this infrastructure. We don't know yet how they're going to deploy it. I've been talking about all these times about the logistics. The logistics that the banks have not received yet have the answer of your email. Okay? So I cannot give you a straightforward answer for your question because I don't have in my hands the logistics. If I had the logistics, I will tell you straight out how they're going to plan to actually infrastructure your currencies and how they're going to implement or help you out with all the accounts that you want to do. So I cannot answer these questions. I'm sorry. So, but it's a good try that you try. So I'm not gonna read the rest of your email because this is only an answer that only currently bankers can answer to you. But I can tell you one thing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it because the last thing that I heard was that they are gonna make this process very simple and very direct. They're gonna make it very simple, okay? And I don't think you have to be worried about getting your funds stuck or anything like that. I do believe you're gonna need to talk to a wealth manager and in coordination with your own people or the people that you have handy. They can actually synchronize and find out the best way to have all your currencies well managed. Okay, that's all I can tell you, but I wouldn't be worried about it. Okay, so thank you for your email, and let me go ahead and answer the other question I got over here. This is from Australia. This is from one listener from Australia, and says, "Hi Benny, I was wondering if you can please provide me with your phone number." Sorry, I cannot provide you with my phone number. You can call me on Skype, and I will reply to your email. So we can talk on the dinar currency. I live in Australia, and there is no news about the dinar and other currencies in the ERB. Of course not. As a matter of fact, many of the countries in Europe, very few in the countries in Europe, have any or few information about this event, and they want to keep it so low. There's a reason why they want to keep it so low, because they don't want the whole world to know about it. Quite simple. They don't want the whole world to know about it. And when it happens, trust me, it's not going to come out on the media. You're not going to hear that. You're not going to even see anything on the media. All right? So it says right here, just found out your talk show and I'm enjoying very much. Also, I think you have a blog site and a YouTube channel. If you can please provide me with a website, please. Kind regards. Okay, yeah, I will send you my YouTube channel. I have a lot of questions in my YouTube channel, just to let you know. I'm just gonna answer right now some of them. For example, I got this guy in different says that you people will be the first to get anything correct. All other gurus have all failed. And thank you so much for your opinion. We're just trying to put all the pieces together, right? So let me go another one. Say, well, I'm gonna answer these questions. Let me answer another question that I got. I think I found some of the questions on my YouTube channels. I have so many questions. I just don't have the time to answer all that. Like I say, I receive many, about 200 to 300 emails a day, and I'm not joking about it. And it's difficult, especially when I do my own stuff, my own business. But I will really answer back your emails. Trust me, I will answer back your emails. May not be the first day, the same day, but I will answer your emails. Okay. So let me just go and see if I can find. There's another thing I wanted to bring up to the issue of the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar, because if we are talking about revaluation of the Iraqi dinar, we're also talking about the revaluation of other countries. Now, Donald Trump will have a summit, and just pay attention to what I'm going to tell you, because it's no coincidence that this is going to happen. Okay? It's no coincidence that it's happening right now. Donald Trump will have a meeting with Vietnam and other Asian countries, including Indonesia. Now, aren't Indonesia and Vietnam those two currencies that potentially will revalue? Yes. Is that a coincidence? No. Okay? So, my sources, oh my God, what should I say this? I cannot tell you anything. I'm sorry. I can't say anything. I was told not to say anything. So, I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to ruin it for everybody. Just trust me. We got to just wait for this summit. And after the summit, we'll take it from there. Okay? So, just to let you know that. So, we are in a great position right now. We are in a great position. Let me just go for the older news. For that, I got to go to my website, my Facebook page, so I can remember what exactly I'm talking about, because I have a bad memory too. And then my friends, my billionaires, will come to me and say, hey, you forgot to mention this. Yes, I have forgot to mention this. So let me just go to the news, to whatever I got. Okay, I'm going to talk about Puerto Rico. And let me just tell you why Puerto Rico is becoming to be, I don't remember what that was. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm answering a question for one of my billionaires. He's asking me about when the sum is gonna be. I don't remember exactly when it's gonna be, but I believe it's gonna be in the next 2 weeks, or probably this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember the date. I'll find out about it. I'll let you know about it. But I want to talk about Puerto Rico, and this is some of the news that people just let it go slide, and this is say, this doesn't matter. This news doesn't matter. Well, let me just tell you something. Puerto Rico just voted if they want to stay as a state, as a territory of the United States, or they're looking forward to actually be added into the United States domain, meaning they want to become a state. What I'm gonna say probably not many. I'm not gonna be like it. I mean, what I'm gonna say probably many Puerto Ricans, because I have a lot of Puerto Ricans that are listening to my show, they're not gonna like this. Okay, but the reason why I'm saying this, because they gotta be prepared. Okay, they gotta be prepared. You see, Puerto Rico is a liberal state. Let's call it a state because they've been a territory for a long time. So it is a liberal state. So liberals are pushing for Puerto Rico to become a state, and they know the reason why, because since they are losing a lot of power, because as I am speaking, the Democratic Party is going to disappear. Okay, and they know that they're losing. They will lose all the power they have, and another party, another political party will come through. It will take about 5 years, and that will take the place of the Democrats. Okay, it's been also prophesied. There's no coincidence it's happening right now. We had 3 months ago news that even some liberals leaders, they say that they're going to disappear, and they know that they will. So they are doing basically the most ridiculous thing they can do is to bring the Puerto Rico as a state. Now, why is it ridiculous? Well, let me just tell you why. It is ridiculous because when they had the chance to do it, they did not vote for it. They did not vote to be part of the United States. They stay as territory because that was the way they wanted to be. Okay, now it says in the news, it says some of the Puerto Ricans, and they say some, they didn't say the majority, but it says some of the Puerto Ricans, they did vote to become a state. But I gotta tell you what it is. The majority of Puerto Ricans don't want to be part of us. They don't. Okay? And now that since they're broke, because Puerto Rico is bankrupt right now, now since they're broke, now they want to become a state of the United States. That ain't gonna happen. Because there is no way the Republicans are going to support, and many Democrats are going to support, to bring a bunch of problems with them. You see, whenever you see a government, a liberal government, taking place in any state, doesn't matter who it is, even in my states, I live in California, and whenever you see a liberal government taking place for that long, you will always see bankruptcy, always. I'm not joking, I'm not making this up. Right now, California owns a lot of money. I believe he owns I think it's $43 billion, if I'm not mistaken. So we going bankrupt. We just haven't declared ourselves broke. But trust me, that will come through. So the same states that are pushing to separate, and by the way, California was pushing to separate until somebody called reality on them, and they stop. Okay? That's how liberals think. Liberals are retarded. They think they can have everything, they control everything, and they're the logic about everything, and they show a more moronic view of everything. And I believe that everybody's looking at it the way they are. So what is going to happen with Puerto Rico, I cannot tell you if they're going to be added to the United States or not. And why am I bringing this up? Does it have to do anything with the RB? Well, let me just tell you something. If we decide to bring Puerto Rico in our government, that will hit our economy. That will actually bring and help the bubble to actually burst faster. Okay? Because right now their death is not ours, it's theirs. Okay? You need to understand that. It's theirs. They have the bankruptcy. We don't. Okay? So if we're going to adopt somebody broke, we're bringing the bankruptcy to us. And that's going to really bring a lot of problems to us. So that's the reason why I brought this up. Because people need to understand what's going on. They had the chance to be part of our country. They didn't want to do it because, like I said, they've been governed by liberals, and liberals, they do these things, you know. They accuse you of a lot of stuff, and then when they know they have no way out, they kiss your ass. That's what they do. That's the liberal mentality. Okay? So, let me go through another. Somebody mentioned it now. Also, the Illinois, state of Illinois, they are bankrupt. Yep, and they are liberals too. So, as you can see, you know, all you gotta do is see the facts. You know, see the facts. You know, whenever there is a liberal government, you'll see bankruptcy. You'll see a lot of stuff not going. Okay? California itself. We're supposed to be the most richest state in the United States. That's why they call us the Golden State. Okay? We're supposed to be the richest. So if we are the richest, why are we so poor? Why blacks are still living in these conditions? Why Latinos are still living in these conditions? Why? And they're still voting for the same government with the false promises and nothing get done. Nothing. That's the reason why I keep saying if Latinos, as a Latino, see, this is the thing that they don't understand. We as a Latinos, we are conservative. Yes, we are. It's just that they don't know the difference between conservative and liberal, in being liberal. They don't. So when they come over here, the liberals, they brought you here and they tell you, oh, we love you. We are the party for minorities. And they don't do crap for you. Nothing. Okay, that's been their trick. That's been their false promises. That's been their strategy to brainwash you. Okay? In contracts, the Republicans is, you stay with us, you think like us. Meaning, if you're going to be part of us, you got to love us. Meaning the United States. You got to think differently. Okay? You cannot be expecting the government to fix your problems. You can't be all the time holding up and wait until the government tells you what they can give you so you can go on with your life. You can't. You only expect that the government stay away from your business so you can go on with your own life. That's it. That is called freedom. And that's what liberals are trying to kill. They're trying to kill our freedom. I've been saying it all the time that the enemies, the principal enemies are not ISIS. It's not ISIS. The principal enemies of our freedom is liberalism, our liberals. Those are the ones that we need to go after because they're destroying our country. They're destroying our way of life. They're destroying the whole world. Just take a look at Europe. What they're doing with Europe. Okay? So there you go. So now, let me show you another news. Oh my God, I can't say anything about this. I'm sorry. I just, it's like when I do my show, I do it exactly with no, I don't do any rehearsals. I do it live, whatever. If it comes through, if it comes right, good. If it doesn't, well, good, So it's just that before I do my show, I got to find out what I can say and what I cannot say. And sometimes I make a phone call. Hey, can I talk about this? And sometimes they answer me. Say, yeah, I'm going to be honest. Sometimes they don't answer me, okay? I don't have a call back. But what I can share right now that I remember, is this. Okay? For the next week meaning today is Monday. So next Monday, things are gonna go so fast. That's what I can share with you. They're gonna go so fast. You will see, wow, this is just tremendous. So wait until next week, which is the following Sunday on the 19th. They will go so fast. It's going to be ridiculous. That I can share with you, okay? So that's basically it that I can show you, that I can tell you. I got all the news, and looking forward to I'm gonna post that. I'm sorry, I'm gonna post that everything that I talk about in my show on Facebook right now, right after my show is done. So thank you so much for your attention. I'm looking forward to come back tomorrow and give you more news. We are in a standing position right now. Oh, I almost forgot. I got this message right now. Before I leave, I want to do this because they've been attacking me with the same question. Not attacking me, but they've been asking me about Tony. TNT Tony. Remember the TNT Tony? He was basically the pioneer of all the gurus. They want me to give my opinion about Tony. Well, all I can tell you is this. If it wasn't because of Tony, many of you will already get rid of your currency. If it wasn't because of Tony, you wouldn't be right now listening to my show. See, whatever Tony did in his own business that took him to jail, prison, and actually forced him to be away from this revaluation stuff and away from his own show, his own call, that's something different. But I got to recognize what Tony did when he was on the air, when he actually broadcast his call. Tony never sell anything to anybody. He never sold you anything. Only he basically, the only thing that he actually did was he opened a little line and said, hey, if you want to donate, go ahead. But he never forced anybody. Tony was the number one guru. And the only thing that I have against Tony, it is that he called for the RB every day. That's the only thing I just did not like about him. Other than that, Tony was a great guy, and I say he's still a great guy because he's still alive. I wish he could be back, And right now, and also let me just say, I'm sorry for that distraction on my cell phone. So what I'm gonna say is this: the brain behind Tony is the guy who actually doing the show right now. He was the brain behind Tony, and not many people knows about this. But this guy, he actually created the show of Tony on TNT. He probably doesn't have the big audience that Tony has, but he was, and he still is, the brain behind the whole thing. Okay, do I like about his do I like his intel? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm gonna be honest, okay? But whatever it is, man, everybody's is trying to put all the pieces together. They do not handle the same information that I handle, and that's all I gotta say. Okay, so there's my response, because many people are just emailing me, asking me what do I think about Tony. So there you are. There you have your answer. Okay, so now I have nothing else to add, and thank you so much for your attention. I'm looking forward for tomorrow for another edition of the Fake News Show. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to The Fake News Show with Benny. See you next time for more conspiracy news, current events, and intel from the most controversial show from Montserrat Radio.